Hey guys, what's up? So today I'm going to be interviewing actor, writer, director, and producer Max Martini, whose upcoming project is Sgt Will Gardner, a military drama that will release next year. I hope you enjoy this interview.
Hey, is this Belle?
Yes, this is.
This is Max Martini.
Hey Max, how are ya?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to talk to you.
Yeah, let's do this. I'm excited too.
Alright, got a whole bunch of questions here, and I just want to say I'm really excited for the film.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it was. Are we recording? Are we in it?
Yep, we're recording right now.
Oh, great. Okay, good. Yeah, no, everybody's super excited. We had the beautiful thing about our project is that everybody that was involved in it, and from the cast all the way through to the crew, and the producing team, and everyone is so passionate about the subject matter, and getting that out there, and getting the cause some momentum under the cause that's driving the film, which is the charitable aspect of it. So,
right.
But yeah, super excited, and thanks for your support. And
you're welcome.
Thanks for
Yeah. So, how did the story of the film come about? What was the inspiration?
Well, I did a trip to Iraq and Afghanistan. I did 2 trips, but on the first trip, I went over, and it was impactful, and I came back. I befriended an Army Ranger while I was there that had a very hard time reintegrating back into society, and and we were corresponding while he was in combat, and continued to do so once he came home to the U.S. And his experiences were tragic, and it made me think that, it made me wonder rather what I could do. Obviously I can't. I'm not a doctor, so I wasn't able to really offer much for him. But in terms of his, words, outside of words of encouragement, but I thought, as an actor, I have a great fan base, which is largely military at this point in my career, and and I thought this is a story. His story is going to be very common. When I met him, it was sort of towards the beginning of or we were into the war a bit, but it lasted 2 decades, so it was at the beginning of it, relatively speaking, and I just thought that his experience was going to be one of many returning soldiers. So the intention behind the movie, I thought that I could, at least bring focus to, some of the conditions that these returning soldiers are facing, and also raise money for charity. So that was the big driving force behind the movie.
Okay. And what was the start of you doing your tour, going to Iraq, seeing every soldier that you can meet?
Wait, sorry, say it again.
When you went to Iraq to see all those soldiers, what started the tour of you going to visit them?
Well, I was on a series called The Unit, which was a military show on CBS at the time, and it ran for about 4 years, and we had a big fan base a big military fan base. And so myself and a couple of the other guys, said, let's go to the Middle East and see these guys. And so we orchestrated some trips and went over and, did a little bit of the green zones, and the green zone, and saw folks there, and then went outside the green zone and by Black Hawk, and went to these little camps where these guys were just getting bombed repeatedly and really needed a break, from the grind. And so it was, I think it was amazing for them to see us, we actually, this is pretty funny. We on one of the bases, we went into the barracks, and one of we ended up standing behind a soldier. Mm-hmm. They didn't see us at the time right away, but he was watching our show, and we tapped him on the shoulder and around, and there's the cast of the show that he's watching on TV. It was pretty cool. But those little moments, we brought some laughter, and we brought some of America home to these guys while they were overseas. So that's how it came about. We just sort of took the initiative to go.
Right.
A break.
Yeah. And that kind of surprise actually happened to me when I actually met Gary Sinise a couple of years ago at one of his concerts. And he knew who I was after I told him my name. So that was a really big surprise for me there. And he pulled me right up on stage and signed my poster and everything. So that was pretty memorable for me to meet him and to raise awareness for the soldiers in his concert. So it was a lot of fun. So to watch this film that's coming out and hearing the stories of you being a part of it, it just makes me want to do more. We should flash our call. Oops. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hello?
Hey, the call dropped.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Well, Gary is in the movie. He's a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. He's an amazing guy. One of his charity, the Gary Sinise Foundation, is one of the charities that the movie is giving 10% of its profits to, and we're giving 20% to two other charities. Mm-hmm. So each charity receives 10% of the profits each, and there's three. And his does amazing work for soldiers. The other two charities are Warriors Heart and Higher Ground. Mm-hmm. Warriors Heart is based in Texas. It was started by a special forces buddy of mine, and they take in active duty service people, veterans, and first responders with drug and alcohol addiction problems, and treat them for their addictions and also PTS. Right. And Higher Ground is based out of Idaho, and they treat their wounded through recreational therapy, and they have an incredible program with a 3-year follow-up, which is just amazing to me. That once you complete your therapy, they stay on top of you for 3 years to make sure that you're okay. And they actually opened up a branch in Los Angeles, which is getting involved in the homeless veteran population, which is big. It's a big one for me, and a large part of the story of my movie.
Right. And you have, other than Gary, you have many other wonderful actors in the film. What was it like to have them on set and to be a part of the film?
We have an incredible cast, and we just assembled, a team that, like I said earlier, was so passionate about it. I mean, it really, everyone from the actors to the crew worked for a fraction of what they normally make, because I think that they wanted to be involved in a project that had more purpose outside of sheer entertainment value, right? That could potentially change lives, and that had a story that would resonate with so many people. everyone was fully committed to what they were doing, and I had a couple pinch me moments directing this because it was my first directing job, and when I looked up and I'm giving Gary Sinise direction, and I'm giving Dermot Mulroney direction, and my friend Robert Patrick direction, and they're all very seasoned actors, and but there was a mutual respect there, which was such a beautiful thing for me to see because it validates what I'm doing, and just the fact that we were able to collaborate was a thrill for me.
Yeah. Did you have any surprises when filming Will Gardner?
Any surprises?
Yeah.
The only surprise, the big surprise for me was that when we were looking, the story starts in Los Angeles and it ends in Washington, D.C. and Arlington National Cemetery.
Okay.
And, we had a little trouble finding cemeteries to shoot in. Arlington rejected us. And, we went to places that could double for Arlington and had other rejections. And, at a certain point, I got on the phone and, with these people and said, hey, there's the purpose of this film is to raise money for private foundations that, are treating soldiers so they don't wind up there. So you should be incredibly supportive of this project. And I think because there's a line in the movie that's critical of the VA, and we have a card at the end of the film with some very sobering statistics. I think that they were reluctant to support the project, which is a shame. But and look, I know a lot of people that have had a great experience with the VA, but I know a lot of people that haven't. And it's flawed, and it will be in a constant state of improvement, I feel. But without these private organizations like the three charities that we're supporting, the situation in this country would be grave, more so.
And what was your favorite and least favorite thing about filming the movie?
My favorite thing about filming the movie was at the end of the film, there were more tears and more heartfelt speeches, and just more of a sense of community and love and collaboration than I've ever felt on any project ever in 25 years. And I'm not saying that because it's mine. I'm just saying that because it's the truth. And it was really powerful, and my buddy that I produced this with, we turned to each other and went, this is going to succeed, because with this much behind it, it can't not. That was my favorite moment at the end of the film. It was also the worst moment because, and this happens on really special projects in Hollywood, is that, you create this family together and you spend so much time together and such long hours and such intensive work, and you bond, and then at the end of it, everybody says goodbye, and everybody lives in different states, and we all go our separate ways, and but one thing that I'll add is that the company that bought my movie, we're negotiating right now for myself and my producing partner Mike Haggerty to do 3 more. Not veteran-based films, not films for charity, but they want to do 3 action movies. So I will go back to New Mexico, where we filmed the bulk of this film, and get my crew back, and put the team back together, and we'll get to do it again.
Right. And not only did you write, direct, and produce the movie, you star as Will Gardner. What did you do to prepare for the role?
Well, for me, the preparation, was really in the writing of it. I mean, because in the writing of it, I learned more about the conditions that I'm talking about, more about, I held probably a dozen or so interviews with soldiers that were suffering from these ailments, be it, physical wounds or emotional wounds, but just in talking to them and interviewing them and that process sort of gave me my character, and because I wrote this, I wanted to, I wanted to be accurate, but I wanted to be subtle in a way that, the movie still is a film, and it still is entertaining, but it also, leaves the audience, one, with hopefully a broader understanding of what our service people are going through, some of them, but also inspires people to give back. And so anyway, I think that, to answer your question, I think the process really for me as an actor, which was unusual for me because it's usually after somebody gives me the script, but for this one it was in the writing of it since I wrote it.
Right, and I have 2 more questions here for you, and we should be good to go after that.
Okay.
Did you know anyone personally who has served?
Well, yes, and probably most of my friends at this point have served. I would say at least 3/4 of my closest friends, were former military or active.
And are you currently working on any new projects?
Yeah, like I said, with the company that bought Will Gardner, we're negotiating with those guys. So we're trying to come up with a story to film. It'll be all action. I have a feeling we'll definitely be back in New Mexico, so it'll be a dusty, dry action movie.
All right. Well, I am so excited to see the movie when it comes out next year. Do you have a release date for it yet, or is that still in negotiations?
Yeah, the movie releases January 11th.
Okay.
We have our premiere on the 8th. And if anyone wants to follow the film, they can follow my Instagram, which is Max Martini, LA.
Okay.
And I'll be posting to that Instagram page even after the film is released, because once I get into profit sharing and the charities start receiving their share of the profits, I want to create a big sort of PR event around that. So I'll be posting, for probably some time to come. And that's also my personal Instagram, so they can just follow me.
Oh, cool. Well, I'll keep an eye out for that. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Thanks so much. It's really wonderful for you to have me, and I appreciate your support and help.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was great talking to you.
Thanks.
All right, I got everything I need here, and I really appreciate the time talking to you and you talking to me.
Absolutely. Listen, the other thing that I forgot to mention really quick is that the movie comes out in select theaters, select cities, but it also comes out on video on demand simultaneously. So if the movie isn't playing in your hometown, you can catch it on VOD.
Alrighty, I'll keep an eye out for that.
Sounds good.
Alright, thanks so much again, Max.
Alright.
Alright, bye.